Let's take a look at Misti today and see where it sets today. And we'll see if it's setting or getting close to any supports or resistances in the market. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So, wanted to take a moment to check out our favorite Misti here and see what it did in the market today. So let's go ahead and slide over to the Webull chart. Alright, so here we are on the Webull chart, and this red dotted line, of course, that is that support line that we drew in a while back here, and it's been somewhat respecting it. It did break through it, but it did not break down and live below that line. So, and today looks like we had a nice little pop up, and it did cool back down. So it was actually only about 0.68% up today, but up is green, and I'll take that. So right now it looks like we're really right in between here. This being kind of our resistance line. That's what we're calling our resistance line, that 2342. And the 1855 is where we're calling our support line. So we're really living right there in the middle, and that's fine with me. Anywhere in this range, I'm good. Anywhere above it, I'm even better, right? I imagine y'all think the same thing there. But we can see on the MACD here, we've got a little bit of green here. It's not much, but it is a little bit of green. It's pretty flat on the MACD. So not a whole lot of momentum here, but we did get a little bit of a green candle, so I'll still take that as a win. The RSI is setting at 49. That's the RSI 14. It's setting at 49, so that's pretty much right at in the middle. So it can go either way. It is not oversold or overbought. It is slap dab in the middle of the relative strength index. So let's take a look at a couple of the indicators while we're on Misti here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch that over to the adjusted. And you can do that in your chart settings here under axis, the y-axis, if you have the Webull chart. And here where it says actual, I'm switch it to adjusted. Now on yours, if you're looking at a Webull chart, it defaults to the adjusted, and you can flip it back and forth from adjusted to actual. So the adjusted is used a lot for when you want to look at indicators and stuff like that versus the actual if you're just looking at the high lows of a stock itself. All right, so here we are, and I've already got the moving average turned on. And as you can see on the moving average, this red line, that's the 200-day moving average. So we are riding on top of that and staying above it. It is going through it, but it's not living under it. That's a good sign. We definitely don't want it to break below that 200-day moving average. And as you can see, this green line, that's a 5-day moving average. So that's the average over the 5-day span. And the blue line right here, that's a 20-day moving average. So as you can see, on the short term, we are crossing over that 20-day moving average. That's a good sign there as well. So hopefully we can get this to move on up and we can keep on continuing up. I'd love to see that. As you can see, the MACD, like I said, we're still green, but it's not a whole lot of momentum there. And we're still, pretty flat on the RSI. Let's check out Mr., which is the underlying for Misti. And as you can see here, Mr. Also, that 5-day moving average is about to cross that 20-day moving average. That's a good positive movement if it can do that. Got a little green on the MACD. And just like Misti, of course, the RSI 14 is pretty much right there in the middle. This is our resistance line up here at that 344, and we've got our support line at the 231.50. We are staying above that 200-day moving average. That's key there. If we start breaking down below that, we could be on a wild ride down. But as this 200-day moving average keeps moving on up, and if this resistance line here keeps keeping it from breaking through, eventually one of them will give, right? As you get a wedge here and it starts compressing. It's like a spring. Eventually it's going to pop, and it's either going to pop up or it's going to pop down, whichever one is the weakest. Is it going to be that support line of the 200-day moving average, or is it going to be the resistance line at that $344 mark? Don't know, but we've got a little bit of time for that. But I would like to see this move on up, and I'd like to see it test that 344 for Mister again. And I would love to see it break on out. But we'll see. We all got time. And the market still is very volatile because it only takes one little news article to pop out about something, whether it's tariffs or counter tariffs or whatever, to cause the market to fall. And in the reverse, it only takes one good positive article of a pause on the tariffs to cause the market to jump up. So keep that in mind anytime that you're getting into any of these plays, because you never know which way it's going to go. It can go either way in a second. And if you're new to the channel, just wanted to show, this is the sheet that I use to track my Misti plays. And it shows where I have 390 shares and my current purchased price, in other words, the amount of money that I spent per share to buy those shares at $25.21, which gives me a total invested capital of $9,800. I've earned in distributions of $6,500 and earned premium by selling puts on Misti, and I have earned about $675 of that. Now, anytime you sell a put, they do hold your money to secure that purchase of the put, unless you have a margin account and you're able to sell naked puts. Then you don't even have to have that cash setting aside to secure the cost to buy that put. I do not have a margin account. I used my cash account, so therefore that amount to sell that put is held out of my account to do so. But anytime I roll it down, then that difference is released into my account as well. So as you can see, I've got a $22 put and I've got a $20 put and a current price of Misti at $20.73. Now those puts are rolled out to July 18th. So I've got plenty of time on those, and we'll see if Misti can get on up and above those. And if not, I'll roll them again. But with all of that added up, it gives me a calculated adjusted average of $2,500 with an adjusted price per share of about $6.64 per share once I add back in my earnings, being the distributions and premiums, removed out of my total capital, and that is what my average price adjusted would be. So I have earned back a total of 73%, a little over 73% back into my pocket without the sale of the shares. But if I did sell the shares at the $20.73 and I sold all 390 shares, then since that price, that current price of $20.73 is under my purchase price of $25.21, that difference or that loss right there would come out of the distributions and premiums I have earned. Therefore, I will only actually earn $5,400, almost $5,500. And that will be what I actually clear, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to kind of show where I was at with this. I haven't made any adjustments here. I won't be rolling the puts for a little while since they're out till July. But if Misti does drop, then I might be looking to sell another put and make some more premium. That, of course, will mean I will then have 3 puts out there. Now, if Misti goes up, then I might take 100 shares here and sell a call and earn some premium on that side. But I would not want to sell that call for under my purchase price of $25.21. So I wouldn't want to sell a call under that price. So I would sell it for, say, $26 or $27. Well, right now, since the price is $20, I cannot get any good premium for that far out of a price without going really far out in the date. I don't necessarily want to do that. I'd like to keep it within a month or two. So right now, I'm just holding and seeing if Misti can come on up closer to my purchase price, and then I might actually look to sell a call. Now, if those shares did get called away, then I would be minus 100 shares out of this, which therefore means I will lose 100 shares times whatever that distribution is for that period going forward. But I can also roll it as well. And I would try to roll it out so that I wouldn't get assigned and those shares are getting taken away. So I may have to manage it if I do that. And I would do that, right? I would try to manage it so that I did not lose my shares. But if it takes off, it could leave you and you may end up having to sell. And that's why you don't want to sell it for less than what you paid for it. And that's my average of what I paid for it. So that way I know at least I've made some money. And then if it drops again, I can sell another put to possibly recoup those shares that I just sold and actually get them at a lower price. So I just wanted to give an overview of my sheet here. And if you're interested in this sheet, I will have a link in the description that you can go and check out, and you'll be able to actually get this sheet. It will take you to a site called Buy Me a Coffee. And that's really all I'm asking is for my efforts of putting it together is just to buy me a coffee, and you will get the link to this spreadsheet, and then you'll actually be able to use it as you see fit. It'll be a blank sheet where you'll actually be able to fill in all these columns and with your information and make it tailored to your own portfolio. So that's just something I've thrown out there. If you're interested, check in the descriptions. You'll see the link. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe, share, and the like button. It'd be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, Legend out.